Story 1. My experience was that you catch them looking at you all the time. Sometimes when you look their way, they keep looking, smile, or blush and turn away. When you are talking to them, they look deeply into your eyes as if they are trying to connect with you on a deeper level. They remember every detail you tell them and try to learn more about you. They try to impress you. They try to be around you, frequent places you visit, and make plans as much as they can. Story 2. Two people I know recently got together. They had been interested in each other for a while, but they were both kind of shy, and it took some time for them to work up the nerve. One thing I couldn't help but notice is how they are always touching. She is sitting next to him telling a story to friends, and he is playing with the bracelets on her wrist. He is telling a story to friends with his arm around her, and she bends over to tie her shoe. His arm does not just fall off her shoulder. He moves so he is lightly tracing his fingertips along her back. This man is always looking for an excuse to touch her. Story 3. Usually, when his eyes pop out of his head, he momentarily becomes a wolf while whistling or howling at you before repeatedly slamming a chair onto the table or his head. Story 4. To be honest, he will find excuses to be near you, keep the conversation flowing, and those lingering looks, they say a lot. If he is teasing like it is high school, that is also a classic sign. Story 5. It's easy to make plans with him. He answers his phone and direct messages, fits time with you into his schedule, and shows up when he says he will. If he has a prior commitment and cannot make it to something you suggest, he will try to schedule something else with you. A person who is just being nice or only keeping you around as a backup option will be busy all the time, except when it is convenient for them. Story 6. Some of these comments are only humorous. I think if you want a serious answer, you will probably catch them looking at you more than a couple of times. They initiate conversation and, even if shy, they try to stay engaged. They may also ask about your plans and if you want to do anything with them. These are clear signs of interest. Note: any attempt to further contact outside of work or personal social events, outside of meeting with mutual friends, is significant. Story 7. I don't know if this helps, but my grandfather always says that if a man truly likes or is attracted to you, he will not want to go a single day without speaking to you. And he is right. That man still cannot spend a day apart from my grandmother, even after all these years. If he ever has to, he becomes restless, as if something essential is missing. Other early signs include prolonged eye contact, mirroring your movements, remembering small details about you, and genuine concern for your well-being. Story 8. If you are not close, you will often catch him looking at you. He will quickly look away so you do not notice him too often, making it less obvious. Each time he sees you unexpectedly, his eyebrows will rise as if you are a pleasant surprise. When you talk, he will speak to you with a smile. He will be kinder to you than to anyone else, as if you are fragile and should be handled with care. When you are talking, or sometimes in a group, you will catch him looking at you, lost in thought, focusing on your face and lips, imagining himself with you. If he is shy and introverted, he may try to hide this by being aloof and avoiding you for no apparent reason. If he seems colder, more distant, and uncomfortable with you than with others, it might be a sign. If he is very confident, he will express his feelings with just one look. Story 9. They find excuses to be physically near you. For men who do not have pickup lines, do not know how to talk to women, or do not look good enough for women to be attracted to, physically being in your presence increases the likelihood of an opportunity for intimate contact or at least an escalation. It is a form of bet hedging. Story 10. They stare at your face, not your body, not your chest, not your backside, but your face. They are trying to make you feel comfortable near them. Story 11. The number one sign is when he pays close attention to you, really listens, and remembers the little things you say. That shows genuine interest. Story 12. Lots of hypothetical questions that make it obvious. My current boyfriend would ask me things like, how would you react if a long-term friend decided to tell you they like you? Of course, I am not talking about us, but what if it happened? He also takes a special interest in the things I do and where I go. I am not sure if I can generalize this, but my boyfriend notes down my hobbies, my food and drink orders, the friends I talk to, which ones I do not like, and my stance on having girl or boy best friends. If he does not understand something I say, he looks it up immediately. So, I put these pieces together before realizing what he was really doing. Story 13. The best indicator that a man is truly attracted to you is that he seems to like you more after the first time you have sex. A man who has no serious interest can easily use you for sex and then discard you. Story 14. As someone who recently became attracted to a woman, I cannot, for the love of God, see her smiling at me without grinning like a child for at least the next 5 minutes. I think people around me definitely notice. I think she knows, but I don't care. She is the first person who has made me feel this way in so long. Story 15. Out of pure seriousness, ignoring the fact this comment thread is mostly jokes. A genuine sign, as previously stated, would be constantly making plans and never seeming to not be interested. If they want to spend a lot of time with you, never leave your side, and constantly back you up without teasing, they are interested. At least from what I have seen online. I would not know from experience. Sorry I could not help more. Story 16. A woman at work said I look like I do not want people to talk to me. So if I am attracted to you, you will never know. I am not the person to do any of what people say in the comments. Story 17. I only speak for myself as a man. I usually give more attention, reciprocate their attention, or act more playful and flirty by teasing, using subtle touches, joking, and so on. I am somewhat reserved, so these signs may stand out more than when I am polite, friendly, but slightly detached. Story 18. If someone answers yes, or gives a similar response to the question, "Would you like to date me?" be cautious. Saying it was a joke after they have answered is a sure way to break their heart and damage their self-confidence. Story 19. Loyalty officer, and when he always makes plans to have fun with you, random late calls, and my favorite, bringing you the food you like. Story 20. He will be unable to keep his eyes off you and will go out of his way to be near you as often as possible. Story 21. He is genuinely interested in learning everything about you that he can, not just interested in sex. In fact, if he is seriously evaluating you for a life partner, sexual compatibility may be low on his list of priorities. And he cannot stop looking at you. Story 22. A big one for me is consistent attention, like remembering little things I said days ago or always finding excuses to be near me. One man used to always offer to carry things for me at work, even when it was very light. At first, I thought he was just being polite until he started bringing me my favorite snacks without me ever asking. That is when I knew. Story 23. Making plans or asking someone out depends more on personality. Most men will look into your eyes, sometimes staring. They often have a kind of puppy dog look. Story 24. As a man, I will try a few times to start a conversation with someone I am attracted to, even when it is not convenient for me, just to show that I am interested in talking to them at the very least. Of course, if it is not working, I stop and move on. It is disappointing when that happens, though. Story 25. He will remember things about you that he feels are important. Kind of being a bad wingman, but he will remember things you feel are important. Probably a better match than the guy with a memory that does not align with what you consider important. I can tell you people's birthdays, what their children are named, and parts of conversations. I look for and write notes to myself about what makes her eyes dilate. Story 26. His eyes are constantly diverted to your chest, and his crotch is bulging, accompanied by heavy breathing. Story 27. The usual giveaway is if they have mass. If they are a ghost, then they are not physical particles and thus have no mass. No mass means no gravitational pull, so no attraction. Story 28. Hey, original poster, answering as a cisgendered heterosexual man. The main thing I would say men do when they are attracted to a woman is listen to her. Otherwise, our ignorant asses are too busy thinking about peanuts or ninjas. Or is that just me? Story 29. If you are talking in a group, look at which way their feet are pointing. If they are attracted to you, their feet will be pointing towards you even if they are talking to someone else. Story 30. Showing off physically. My physical therapist would start doing pull-ups or posing in the mirror next to me during our sessions. Story 31. Men can be subtle and hide their feelings well. However, when they truly like someone, they often show it instantly, at least in my experience. Some signs include remembering tiny details you thought went unnoticed, mirroring your body language, prolonged eye contact, increased smiling, and physical touch. There are more signs, of course, but these seem to be the most common. Story 32. He may ask obvious questions just to talk to you, even if very briefly, if he does not already know you well. Story 33. Honestly, mine has always been if he compliments my singing. This is because my singing is not actually good, and anyone who tells me how pretty it is either is buttering me up or is listening through rose-colored ears. Story 34. He actually pays attention to what you say and genuinely seems eager to talk to you. If he is fidgeting while talking or seems nervous, it is a bonus point. Story 35. The way he looks at me, how happy and comfortable he is around me, and how he takes care of me and helps me improve. That makes me realize he is interested in me. Story 36. Asking a woman out for a date. Telling a woman that she is attractive or pretty. Can I have your phone number, please? Story 37. He will compliment me on my appearance, even when I am dressed down, or find a way to be close to me in some capacity. He also maintains heavy eye contact when talking, whether one-on-one or with a group of people. It is not a leery, perverted, or lustful look, but an engaging one. It seems like he wants to make sure you are involved in the conversation. Story 38. His body language changes. You will notice him mirroring you, facing you fully, fidgeting slightly, or finding reasons to be near you. Story 39. He finds reasons to talk to you, remembers little things you say, and looks for ways to keep the conversation going. When a man is interested in you, his attention is consistent. Story 40. A man who likes you is the most annoying creature on the planet. I hate them so much. Please have some respect and boundaries by not being painfully obvious. I wish I could shout to the world that I am not interested in men because I swear they are so annoying. Story 41. No idea. In my experience, no man has ever been genuinely attracted to me. They only wanted to use me for what I had or could do for them, like letting them stay for free at my house during vacations. I know, lesson learned. Men can be untrustworthy, and none have truly been attracted to me. I am short, real, and unattractive. Frankly, men play too many games, so there is no way of really knowing because none of them are taught how to be genuine. Story 42. He wants to keep spending time with you even after intimacy. I know it is not always about intimacy, but I always hear the same stories in my group of friends when we were all dating. Many men would behave poorly once they got what they wanted. Story 43. In my recent case, my whole day was spent waiting for a reply, dreading not receiving one, and constantly apologizing for ridiculous things. She did not like that. I feel terrible. Story 44. What signals a man's attraction to a woman, and which of those is prioritized first? If he looks at you, and second, if he talks to you. Story 45. Supports you. Not like misleading support, but someone who takes action for you and responds almost instantly. Genuine support cannot be hidden. Story 46. If he makes a hooting sound like an owl when you unexpectedly tap his prostate instead of making a confused and unaroused sound like an owl. Story 47. The number one sign is that he tells you he likes you. All this other eye contact and nonsense is nothing but uncertainty. If he really likes you, his attraction will give him the courage to walk up to you and say that he likes you. Where it goes from there is up to the two of you. A guy who really likes a girl is more direct than gradual. Story 48. Honestly, I have no idea. Anytime a man is interested in me, it goes right over my head. Then my friends say that boy knows what he is doing, and I am like, ooh. Story 49. My clear indicator that I was attracted to my ex was when I wanted to be around her a lot and could not keep my eyes off her when we were together. Story 50. He suddenly becomes an expert in whatever you are interested in. One day he has never heard of Succession. The next day he is explaining Kendall Roy's entire character arc. Story 51. Bringing you around the family. We can enjoy each other's company all day, but meeting the family can be the deal breaker. Story 52. teases you with your inside jokes, makes sure to get on your last nerve only to make it up to you later. Story 53. It was shortly after arriving in Luxor with my grandson and our ragtag group of questionably dressed men that I started experiencing an uncomfortable closeness from my friend Avdol. He was of average height with a heavy build and shoulders bigger than both our heads. We had known each other for quite some time by then, and prior to the incident, I had always considered him to be a mature and responsible person with a strong sense of duty and loyalty. After the many hardships we had experienced together, it was not unusual for us to be seen together. Onlookers might have even thought we were inseparable. Unfortunately, that metaphor became an inescapable reality, as I soon found myself in broad daylight grabbing a railway fence for dear life while my Egyptian friend repeatedly smashed his hips into my backside. Fortunately, we were eventually able to undo the magnetic curse that had been placed upon us. Years later, I still consider this one of my most bizarre adventures. Story 54. He will make physical contact, even involuntarily. Touch a shoulder, poke you with his finger, pat the hand, or in more extreme cases, the legs. Story 55. His gaze lingers on you. He often looks at you, even if he tries to hide it. He seeks physical contact through casual touches, standing closer, and leaning in when he speaks. Story 56. If I like someone, I will ask them something about themselves. For example, if they have tattoos, I will try to talk about what they have and why. If it seems like I am trying to have a longer conversation than usual with you, then I probably think you are cute. Story 57. When I am interested in someone I do not really know, I will glance at her until we start making eye contact. Once I know she is aware that I am looking at her, I cannot help but smirk. A confident, I know something you do not kind of smirk. After that, if we start talking, I am usually excited to speak with her and see her, while still being careful not to come across as needy or desperate. If he behaves like that or is playful and teasing, perhaps with a touch of shyness, he is probably interested in you. If he is in a bad mood and then suddenly improves after talking to you, you likely mean something to him. Story 58. I see many women replying with things they do or think men do, but as a man, I will say that when I am attracted to a woman, the main things I do are: 1. Look for a clean opening to say something that will not make me look awkward. 2. Avoid engagement and appear actively disinterested until such an opening occurs, or else I will likely end up feeling awkward regardless of what happens. Story 59. They try to find hobbies or activities to do together that they believe will make a positive impression on you. Story 60. If I paid more attention to a woman, I was definitely attracted to her. I listened to women talk about anything just to hear their voice. Story 61. These comments lead me to believe I was lied to when a man I liked said he did not like me back. Was he lying to me or to himself? Laugh out loud. Story 62. How they look at you is just soft, appreciative, gentle, serene, like you make everything better. Okay, now I have to go cry. Story 63. What goes through a guy's mind when you have not seen him for a year and he tries pursuing you again after a year of no contact? Story 64. He makes every effort to be with you. He will walk over broken glass to do so. If he abandons you at the slightest inconvenience, he is just not that into you. Story 65. My firm belief is that when a person gives someone direct eye contact for more than 3 seconds, they are attracted to them. If they also initiate verbal contact with a smile, then they are definitely interested in a non-platonic way. There is a clear connection between eye contact, smiling, and initiating conversation that aligns with romantic feelings. I personally communicate with my eyes first, then through body language, and finally by initiating conversation with romantic intentions toward an individual. Story 66. I'm a gay man, so I am not sure if this applies to heterosexual situations, but it is definitely about eye contact. If you look up or around and catch their eyes resting on you, keep that in mind. When you do the same looking around and you catch them looking at you multiple times, there is a high likelihood that they are, in one way or another, attracted to you. Story 67. If the guy has an easy time speaking with anyone, but when it comes to you, he turns into a bumbling idiot talking nonsense, he is head over heels for you and cannot think straight. That is why, or he may be having a stroke. Check if he can smile symmetrically and lift both of his hands to shoulder level with his eyes closed. Story 68. It is easy. Pay attention to the attention he gives you and whether he follows you or not. For example, if you propose something, he will almost always agree. These are simple things, but they can tell you a lot. Story 69. You can catch a man checking you out pretty easily. All men like a nice butt. Another sign is that he is way too nice to you. Men often do this with attractive women. You can get a man to do almost anything for you if he has a crush on you. Story 70. The truth is that I no longer believe in that love between a couple. They only fell in love with me and treated me badly. Since then, I only think that they manipulate you. Story 71. They show off, displaying their feathers fully, trying to appear as cool, appealing, and impressive as possible. Story 72. If I am drawn to someone physically, I will try to talk to them and find out more. Far too often, I have found someone attractive but realized it was only skin deep, so I try not to fall for just physical attraction. If she has a nice personality, that is something worth being attracted to. However, physical features can also be appealing. Story 73. When he is with her from behind, the gun he places in her mouth does not have any bullets, and the safety is on. Story 74. When you notice that they start staring at you all the time, my girlfriends call it the stare. Story 75. I would say definitely prolonged eye contact is one of them. You catch him staring from across the room. I think the eyes say a lot, and there is a difference between someone who can hold good eye contact and someone who stares at you in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable. This has been my experience anyway. Story 76. I have a self-sabotaging habit of flirting with everyone except the one I actually have a crush on. There I shy away. Story 77. He wants to spend time with you and be around you. If a man asks you to go somewhere with him, it is highly likely that he likes you. I do not just ask anyone to go places with me. Story 78. Avoid eye contact but almost always look at you when you are looking away. If he is in a conversation with others and you are nearby, he will speak more confidently and louder, accidentally touching you as often as he can, like touching your elbow with his when you are sitting next to each other. Being happy around you and trying to foster conversations with you. Secretly writing poems for you. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.